everybody. Welcome to the front porch.
I'm not ready yet. You said I was doing the intro. Hey y'all. As you might guess, this is our first one of these. We were trying to figure out, well, obviously everything, but trying to figure out what to call this. Front porch. We're here on the front porch at Bales Farms. I'm Barry. That's Allison. And I don't know. Maybe we should do a contest as to what to call it.
Sure. What do they win?
A cup, a new Bales Farms cup. We could call it. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Hey, how y'all doing? We hope you're doing great. We are doing this segment. We put out the feelers and the word the other day. We want to do a Q&A with y'all for anybody that has any questions about Bales Farms and all the craziness that goes on around here. We're going to try to start that tonight. We are on the front porch. I am disgusting, as I have been for about the last 3 months, with 85 to 90 degree temperatures and what seems like 400% humidity. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm ready for some extended fall. I'm tired of sweating. I'm tired of being disgusting. A certain part of that comes with being a farmer, but I'm ready for some cooler weather. All that to say, that doesn't mean that you can't still be civilized. So here we are with our lovely Friday evening cocktails. Allison is drinking a
rosemary gin grapefruit martini.
Okay.
And you are.
And I'm drinking one of my favorites, my old standby. I don't have any really good garnish. I don't have any fruit for some reason. That is a Boulevardier, which I'm going to let you Google how to spell that. I could have done it this morning right now.
Boulevard, I-E-R.
I-E-R, yeah. Boulevardier, yeah.
With an I-E.
Hey. Which is basically, for any cocktail enthusiast out there, basically a Negroni, but with bourbon instead of gin. So it's just bourbon, sweet vermouth, and Campari. Normally, a little twist of orange. But, we do what we can. So anyway, after that long introduction, we are here on the front porch and we are awaiting the arrival of the remnants of Hurricane Laura, which we don't expect to get much, maybe a little wind, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. We're definitely thinking of and praying for all of our friends down on the Gulf Coast, down in Louisiana, Texas. I've spent a lot of time down around Lake Charles, Aliceson, Big Lake down in that area. I have some great friends down there. Anybody that may follow my personal account is well aware of and familiar with my chocolate lab, Doc. Doc comes from Lake Charles. So definitely a place near and dear to our hearts. So we hope everybody comes back stronger than ever real soon. So, moving ahead to our question and answer. The bad thing about this is you see our front porch, which is awesome, but we don't want to give up our view and turn around, so you can't see what we normally see, so I'm going to show you. And those are the Smokies. Smoky Mountain's over there. Viking Mountain is over that way. Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Del Rio over in there. So, back to our handy dandy tripod shot. Okay, there's that. Thanks for humoring me. Allison, do we have a question?
We do have a question, Barry.
I've not had a drink yet. I'm parched.
Cheers. We do have a question.
Cheers.
This came from our Instagram page. Thank you for the direct message.
Which our Instagram handle is.
Bales Farms.
Way to go. You win the pig.
The first question that we got was, how did you meet?
MEET? Okay. Well, the short answer is it was a blind date. The longer answer is I had a couple of friends that these two friends were roommates at East Tennessee State, where I went. They lived together, and then I lived down the hall from them, and we were running buddies. And they went on to become very successful scholars and pillars of the community, and I did what I did. So one of them went on to become got his doctorate in biochemistry from Princeton, and the other one,
well, I was going to say, and he also married someone.
do you want to tell the story? I'm not there yet. Anyway, I'm telling the story,
okay.
Please. The other one, Randy, I should know what Randy did. Randy went to UT and did something good. I can't remember. But anyway, so after they kind of graduated and left, I was still hanging around Johnson City and got to running around with the younger brother of the aforementioned Randy, and he went to school with Allison. We are 4 years apart. So through that, Kevin, Randy's younger brother, hooked us up on a blind date, and we went to, what was the name of it? Because there was two identical.
Makatos.
Well, there was Mikados and there was Masaki's.
I never went to Masaki.
I know, but you see my confusion.
Yes.
Japanese steakhouse. So we're all sitting around the table, and the guy's doing his thing. He's flipping shrimp tails and doing all that, and he gets done, and all around the table it's complete silence, except for my wife, who erupts into applause, and the entire table goes.
Well, he did a really good job.
Well, he did.
He did. You should
But
always encourage people.
my point is, I was not used to someone so lively and joyful and encouraging and effervescent. So it kind of startled all of us at the table, actually. But that was how it started. And
did you love me for it though?
well, I liked you for it. I loved you later. But anyway, yeah, blind date, basically. Japanese steakhouse. So, there you go.
And then we went to, do you remember where?
Did we go to Gatsby's?
We went to Gatsby's. And we threw darts. And I had never
Why do you
thrown
say
darts.
that like, and we ran moonshine? Or we, what?
I had never thrown darts. And I don't think I ever had.
What did you do with them?
I had never touched one.
You didn't have a lawn dart when you were little?
No, my parents left me.
Oh, well. Your dad is Mr. Safety, I think.
They did not allow that.
Okay, so is
So
that,
that's how we met.
yeah, there we go.
And we dated for 2 years. And then someone asked us how long we had been married. And we've been married for.
Oh, wow. Let's see. 22
years.
I was going to, okay, yeah.
22 years this year.
Well, I was trying to base it on how long we've been in this house.
Yes.
22 years.
22 years.
Coming up?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then someone asked for us to tell the story of how we got from where we were, which I went to UTC to physical therapy school, and so
Which is University of Tennessee, Chattanooga.
yes, And so I was a practicing physical therapist for years, and Barry has been a traveling musician for years. And so the question was, how did we get from
I got
there?
my practicing out of the way early on, and then I actually started doing it.
Yes, yes. We went, how we went from there to here.
You want me to answer that?
Sure, you're
Okay.
great.
Well, you can read about this in depth on our website if you go to our story. I tried to give the complete story there. The farm that we live on is our family home place. It's been in our family since 1882, which it says right on our logo, if you've ever noticed that.
Or if you win the contest and get a cup,
It'll say it on the cup.
it'll say it on the cup.
So, our son Marshall, who's executive vice president of the egg division, he is the 6th generation to live here. So, you can work that backwards. I spent a lot of time here with my grandparents, my mom's mom and dad, who I loved and worshipped and spent every second with them that I could from the time far back as I can remember. I would literally spend every day of the summer. They'd come pick me up at school. I grew up in Kingsport, Tennessee, which is about an hour from here. And they would come pick me up the afternoon that school let out for the summer, and I'd come down here and stay until the day before it started back in the fall. And we had a garden, we'd plant corn, we raised beef cattle, and it was just it was a little bit like being Tom Sawyer. It was a idyllic childhood for a young boy. We had horses, we rode horses all the time. So this place is very special to me, and I have a lot of great memories and so much tradition tied to this piece of property. So I eventually moved to Nashville and lived down there for a couple of years once I got to be a professional musician. And that was in the early 90s, and just always missed home. There's nothing like home, nothing like East Tennessee, nothing like the mountains. And I figured out that for what I was doing, the way I was working, I didn't really need to live down there. I mean, I could drive back and forth. It was worth the sacrifice. So I moved back up here. The old home place, which is down at the foot of the hill, was sitting empty. So I moved back here and lived here for a number of years, and managed it pretty much just as a hunting property. And then met Allison. We got married. We lived down there for a couple of years, and then we built this house. And it really took on a new thing once Marshall came along. Marshall's now 13, and I wanted him to have at least a taste of what I had when I was a boy. So we decided we needed to get a few animals, and I forget what we started with. Maybe
Chickens.
Laying hens.
He got chickens for his 5th birthday. That was his request.
So it kind of snowballed from there. We did chickens, we did goats, we did pigs, we did meat chickens, we did cows, and the original intent was to have him have that experience, have him have responsibility, have him to know where his food comes from, have him learn how to respect animals. And we thought, well, we can feed ourselves. And then after a year or two, we thought, well, if we could raise twice what we're doing now, we can feed ourselves and sell the rest of it and pay for what our food costs. And we figured out more what we were doing. We got more into a truly pasture-based system. We got into rotational grazing. We got into using non-GMO feed, mixing our own feed, and really sort of thinking of things from a new way, even though that wasn't so far removed from the way my grandfather ran this place. But started getting requests from friends and neighbors, you know, saying, "Hey, we want some of your meat or your eggs, or we want more of your meat or eggs." So it's just kind of steadily snowballed since then, and especially now with, as you all well know, the state that we're all in, the music business is basically shut down, and who knows when it'll restart. So this is my full-time job, and thankfully we had it ready to go, or we're already doing it, but just took the bull by the horn, so to speak, and ran with it. And we are just continuing to grow, trying our best to meet demand, and it's hard work, but I love it. I don't know how much everybody else does, but it's an awesome life, awesome responsibility, and I think that covers the base of how we got here. Made me thirsty.
Good job.
So what else? Anything else? That's probably enough for today.
That's probably enough. You all are probably sick of us already.
If you have, well, they would have checked out long ago.
That's true.
If you have questions, please send them in. We will try to do this on a semi-regular basis if anybody is interested. Our email address is Bales Farms, Bales as in bales of hay, B-A-L-E-S, Farms, plural with an S, Bales Farms TN, like the state of Tennessee, balesfarmstn@gmail.com. And you can also find a direct link to click through and email us on our website, which is balesfarmstn.com. And we are on Instagram, Facebook. I don't do such a good job with Twitter.
Twitter is a sad place right now.
Well,
it's very angry.
it's the third wheel kind of. And they all
Instagram's so
change.
nice.
But they all change. Twitter used to be my thing, and now I've kind of gotten away from it.
People just yell on Twitter, I feel like.
People just yell everywhere.
Not on Instagram.
Stop
Instagram
yelling
is
at
so
me.
kind. Instagram is so kind.
So anyway, we also have a YouTube channel. I can't remember the exact address. I'm assuming it's something /Bales Farms. But you can search for us. We have lots of videos